Hi everybody, welcome back to another of my walkthrough videos. Today we're going to go and wander through New York, New York. This place really does have very happy memories for me. It opened in January 1997. My first visit was September 98 and I stayed here in September 99. Which is when I got married, and all of my family stayed at New York, New York with us in the run-up to the wedding before we went to Hawaii for the honeymoon. And then we came back again in June 2003. So I stayed here twice, not recently, but I do think when I stay down this end of the strip again, I will stay here. It's certainly on my radar again for a future visit. Probably not, as I've said in my strip walk video, probably not in the summer because the pool area just isn't that great. Now I'm not booked in here in terms of a room, so I can't show you the pool, but it is pretty small. And not only that, obviously you have the roller coaster that absolutely hurtles around above you, which can be slightly off-putting when you're trying to sunbathe. Now this top section really really hasn't changed. I used to get my my old style films developed from here, 20 years ago. It's obviously now digital, as opposed to it used to be drop off your films and come back an hour later and they'd develop them for you. So yeah, it's never changed up here at all. And in fact, these crystal things, they've been around 20 years as well. That's not new either, where you get your face put on them. But one thing they have done is change the interior here somewhat. I love, as I've said before, this vantage point here. And over sort of this way was where the Big Apple bar used to be. And I've scoured the internet for pictures of the Big Apple bar and I can only actually find one. I mean, it basically had a huge apple hanging from a red apple hanging from the ceiling, and it had a great bar. It's over where the cashier's cage is, just there. Had a great bar with a stage behind it that used to have some great live bands on, and we used to spend a lot of the evenings in that bar. It's a shame they changed it. They changed it for this central bar that we'll see shortly, but I don't think it's improved the property at all, if I'm honest. And one thing I remember here, just going into the casino here, is literally just here they had the old style Monopoly 3 real game, 25 cents, 75 cents a press. The one with the first sort of signs of graphics on at the time. I need to spend quite a bit of time on that. But I always think because the slots historically here have always been really close together, I think it's always been good for atmosphere. I mean, you walk through like this and there's plenty to choose from. Of an evening, weekend evening, it's buzzing in here normally. And I would say my first 3 or 4 years in Vegas, I would have probably said to you, this was my favourite casino on the strip. It's certainly the place I probably spent more time, even if we were staying at Luxor or Excalibur, I spent more time in here than anywhere else. And actually, yes, I'll just show you the bar as it is now. I mean, to me, it's just sort of fairly generic. But as the Big Apple bar, obviously it was a theme. But it's just a really fun bar. This one just, I don't know, doesn't really excite me, if I'm honest. It's like any other bar in Vegas. So just moving around here. I haven't been in here actually for a little while. So it's easy to lose your bearings after a bit. But they've never changed the Times Square bit here. They've always had the dueling pianos, and they've always had the neon there, the old school neon. And I think I am the only person who can't stand dueling piano shows. I'd rather stab my eyes out with pointed sticks than sit in that bar, the Irish bar, and listen to that all night. Honestly, just cannot stand it. I just don't see the appeal. And they got the sports bar here, sports book, sorry, here. And going out that way will take you to Park MGM, obviously. Now, one thing they've not changed at all, which I approve of, is this area, which I've been to New York 3 times in my life. I love the city. I really want to take Suzanne back, and we will do it probably for a pre-Christmas shopping trip at some point. But all of these restaurants really haven't changed. The only thing that they've stopped doing is piping the steam up from the vents. So they used to have steam coming up from there, and they've sort of stopped that. But the Broadway Burger here, I mean, again, 20 years ago, 20 years ago, I've lost track how many burgers I've eaten in there. That was the go-to place, either late afternoon before I had a snooze, or late at night. I'm trying to think which tower it was that we stayed in. I don't think it was any of these, if I remember. That's all a bit hazy. It is a long time ago. But I'd be interested to see what the rooms are like now. But this, it really is, I don't know, it does remind me, a bit like Paris is very good in terms of a Parisian sort of feel. This is, I think this is good for a New York type of feel, just wandering through here. Anybody from New York can tell me whether they think that's true or not. Probably not. A tourist view of New York, how's that? Or a Brit's view of New York. So we're coming out here, the other side of the Times Square neon. And I have a really, really nice photo of me and my dad. Actually, it's quite emotional. Me and my dad standing just here. And this is before my wedding, way back. Yeah, very emotional. Now, in terms of the actual gaming, there was a section, if I can find it, that I always used to. I know where it is now. I've got my bearings here. I always judge when they change these casinos inside, right? I always judge where everything is based on the restrooms, because it's the one thing I could remember. Hilarious, really, but it's true. But so the women's is there, the gents is here. So if I carry on walking down here, and by the way, it's up there, the roller coaster entrance. Round here they used to have, okay, and it's near the check-in, which we'll go to in a second, a bank of Wheel of Fortune machines. In all of these videos I'm going to mention Wheel of Fortune machines, because it just explains to you how often I used to play the damn things. 25-cent 3-reel Wheel of Fortune, 75 cents a press, and they used to be along here. And I'm going to put on the screen now a photo of me on, I think it was like, is it second or third in from here? And this would have been February 2007. My wife and I just split up. We'd actually met in Vegas for a reconciliation attempt, which obviously wasn't successful. But on the last night, we'd come in here, and I'd sat at that Wheel of Fortune machine, and I hit $1,200 on a 75-cent a press, but not all in one go. It was, you know, 5 times pay this, 777s, and I ended up cashing out a ticket for $1,200 on a 75-cent bet in the space of 20 minutes. I've never seen a machine pay out so much in a short period of time on that sort of bet level. It was incredible. And yeah, this is down here is the pool area. I don't know if we'll be able to get to see a little bit of it. They probably won't let me through. Yeah, here we go. So you can see it's relatively small. Yeah, I mean, there's not much space around there. And as well as the Big Apple bar, this lobby bar here, we always used to drink at. It's only a small little thing, but it's amazing. I just sort of like the Art Deco element to it. Yeah, I think it's a cool little bar, that one. And that, again, that's never changed over the years. It really hasn't. Yeah, and you got the skyline up there, look. Yeah, I like all that stuff. And then coming up here, actually I'm recalling it now, yeah, literally where this new building was where that Big Apple bar was. All round here, with the Wheel of Fortune machines there, all round here was where I played for years, all in this little section. It's still pretty cool. It's still pretty cool inside. They haven't totally ruined it. I quite like the lights here and the look here. Not bad at all. So we've done a full loop. So I'm not even sure what this is in here, if I'm honest. Is this some sort of high... Oh, okay, so probably high limit gaming in there, I would think. Yeah, the high limit slots in there. And that is really New York, New York. There's the cashier's cage. Yeah, so really, sorry, I think I said when I first came in, the cashier's cage is where the bar is. It isn't. It's where the high limit area is now. Was where the Big Apple bar was. So that really is New York, New York. As I said, I will stay here in the next year or two for sure, probably on a solo trip. I'd be interested to see what, if you know, those that have stayed here, what you think of the rooms. They're always fairly plain going back, and the suites, I don't think were overly extravagant. But I will see you again, New York, New York, in the not too distant future. I hope you enjoyed this walk around. Sorry for getting a bit emotional when I mentioned my dad, but you know, just the thought of him here with me then, I don't know, it got me very emotional. I'll speak to you soon, guys.